Storm warnings continuing, and we do have a tornado warning here. Just as we got really in the last couple of minutes here, this storm has started to get its act together as far as rotation goes, which it really wasn't showing much of just a couple of minutes ago. So this is the storm here near Elizabeth in Allen Parish, and as you can see here, I'm going to show you this is really in the last 10 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes or so, 4:24, we have the storm starting to become a little bit better organized. You can see just a few minutes ago, really not showing much rotation at all. But now as it really comes up on top of Elizabeth, you start to see that red and the green a little bit more defined, and it's going to be this area of rotation right here near the Elizabeth area, and that is going to be currently in northern Allen, but of course that's going to be crossing into Rapides here shortly. So it is a little bit broad rotation, but better to be safe than sorry in these storms. And this is the same thunderstorm that we were just on talking about that is also severe warned. So you have a severe thunderstorm warning, and now on top of that, there's additionally been a tornado warning issued as it started to show a little bit better signs of organization. And again, it is a little bit broad. And some of these storms here, kind of tightening up or showing that increased rotation for just a minute or two at a time, kind of loosening back up, becoming more broad. So it's really hard to kind of keep up with these storms. So it's better to keep them warned here. Better safe than sorry, certainly. So we have still numerous severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing through Grant Parish. Again, the rain that you're hearing in the metro area of Alexandria, that is from a strong thunderstorm that currently doesn't have any warning on. Our primary troublemaking storm this afternoon has been this one that's been pushing in from Beauregard Parish, and now it's really right on that line of Allen and Rapides Parish, and it is heading towards the Glenmora area. It is currently near Elizabeth, and that's where that area of rotation is, which again, you do see the red and the green next to each other, a little bit broad here, but we do have some signs that the storm is trying to become better organized, and of course it was organized earlier with the tornado warning that it had on there. So I'm going to put this into motion here and just show you the direction that these storms are pushing. And we're definitely hearing some torrential rainfall here across the area, and plenty of lightning with these storms. So these are moving primarily to the east and to the northeast, and they are continuing to push through Rapides Parish at this time. Starting to see a little rain in Avoyelles Parish again. With the trajectory of this storm, we're going to see eastern Rapides continue to be affected by this tornado warned storm, as well as Avoyelles. It may not necessarily be showing signs of rotation when it makes it into those areas, but you would want to keep an eye on this storm here and just be prepared, because we could certainly see the severe thunderstorm warning, if not the tornado warning, translated east, depending on what the storm decides to do. We also have our severe thunderstorm warning continuing, actually a new one issued now for Natchitoches and Sabine Parish until 5:15. So that area of storms here that's been pushing in from East Texas starting to strengthen as well. Some 1-inch hail and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here possible with that storm. So that one's going to go for Sabine and Natchitoches until 5:15 p.m. And that is right on top of the Manny area at this time. The strongest of the severe thunderstorm in Grant Parish, starting to push out of Grant Parish and starting to push into LaSalle Parish. So Alla and Gina are going to be seeing the effects of this severe thunderstorm here. That's right on top of Georgetown, and that one is going to be for some quarter-sized hail and some strong wind gusts as well. Again, in Rapides Parish, we do have a strong thunderstorm here through the metro area. And looking at that, it does have some strong reflectivities here, even though it's not warned. That could just be torrential rainfall, but it could be hail as well. And not seeing anything in our hail zone. Looks like we could have some smaller hail with this. Let's see the estimates of this one. It's probably not severe-sized hail. Yeah, so that's showing 7/10 of an inch, so just over a half-inch size hail. So that's going to be smaller than a quarter. So this storm here in the metro area, even though we do not have a severe thunderstorm warning, that certainly could be producing some small hail and some very heavy rainfall as it pushes through the metro area into Pineville area as well. That'll be headed into Colleen and other areas there in eastern Vernon. So checking back in on our tornado warned storm here. This tornado warned storm is going to be capable of producing tornadoes, strong winds, and up to 1.5-inch hail, which is a ping pong ball sized hail. And that is pushing through southern Vernon. And of course, heavy rainfall, lots of lightning as well. Unfortunately, these storms are bringing a little bit of everything today as they develop and push across the area. So this storm right on top of Glenmora, and we'll check in on the velocities again over the last few minutes. Again, it is looking like a pretty broad signature, so that is good. You know, we certainly could see a quick spin-up tornado produced with this storm. So you definitely want to be better safe than sorry, and stay in place until this storm passes if you can. But we are seeing certainly some broad rotation on this. So could be looking at some strong winds there, and of course the hail and the tornado threat as well. And ongoing storms here across the metro area. Again, we talked about this warm front that is in place. We have these dew points to the south here in the 70s. That's allowing these storms here to the south, especially, to become surface-based. So those could be the tornado producers. And then we also have some hail producers today as well. We have the very high convective available potential energy. That's what we call KALB for short. As you can see, that's really maximized across the southern half of the area. On Friday, we had our severe threat, but our KALB values were at less than 2,000 joules per kilogram. They're in the 2,000 to 3,000 range today. So those really high KALB values are those big hail producing storms. And then that, along with our surface warm front boundary there, have a lot of good ingredients for storms today. I believe we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's check this out. And it does look like they are going to warn the storm here over the metro area. Let's check on the winds with that one. This is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for winds of greater than 50 miles per hour, and it looks like they're picking up on the hail as well that I showed you a second ago. Just want to read the details of this. So this is primarily being warned for that hail. We do have some gusty winds. It looks like it's going to be 40-mile-per-hour winds with this warning. And that has, of course, torrential rainfall and lightning. So this is the storm right on top of the metro area. The worst of it is starting to shift east into places like Wardville and places like Pineville and Colleen. But we are still seeing some very heavy rainfall here across the metro area. With this severe thunderstorm. That severe thunderstorm warning will go until 5:30, and that's going to be for some quarter-sized hail and some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So just zooming out and giving you a better look, numerous storms here ongoing. We do have one tornado warned storm. And that continues to be in the southern portion of Rapides Parish. We additionally have a strong thunderstorm here back across Sabine Parish, one moving through LaSalle, and again, two here in Rapides Parish. So I want to go back to our tornado warned storm. Again, it's right on top of Glenmora. And that rotation hasn't quite made it to Glenmora yet, but it's right on top of Glenmora, closer to the Blanche community. And that is going to be pushing the storm here is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So again, this one could have a little bit of everything. And you can see that area here where we have the red and the green next to each other right on top of the Blanche area. And certainly have some broad rotation with this. I'm going to put it into motion again as we continue to get more updates. So yeah, it doesn't look like a particularly strong rotation signature, so that is good, but you certainly would want to stay in place here as we continue to see this storm pushing across the area. It has a little bit of everything with it today, including that potential possibly for a quick spin-up tornado here and some heavy rain and wind as well. And checking out, looks like this severe thunderstorm here again, the one that is tornado warned. Looks like it's going to be extended. Warning is going to be extended east there, all the way into Avoyelles now. So if you're in Avoyelles, your phone may be going off. I'm guessing that they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire here when it comes up in just a few minutes, and translate that east as a severe thunderstorm warning here. And that is going to continue as it pushes east. So we have about 11 minutes left here on the tornado warning. But the rest of the storm here going to see that severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock for portions of Avoyelles, Evangeline, and Rapides again. So putting it into motion here over the last 30 minutes or so, you can see it is now pushed out of Allen Parish, and it is into southern Rapides. Really not much of Evangeline is being affected by this, and it hasn't quite made it to Avoyelles just yet, but it is pushing to the east there. And that is, let's see how quickly this one is moving as it pushes towards Avoyelles. Again, Avoyelles not seeing the storms yet, but these are moving east at 50 miles per hour. Again, ping pong ball-sized hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And in the tornado warned area, the potential here for a tornado this afternoon. So we have numerous boxes right on top of each other, 3 to be exact there. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings as well as that tornado warning. And it looks like they are canceling. That is good news there. So that's what I expected. They did cancel that tornado warning. They actually canceled it early, so that's good news. So there's no longer a tornado warning on that storm, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm. Again, it's right on top of Glenmora. And portions of that, Forest Hill is not in the box, but Forest Hill is certainly about to get some wind in the rain, already is getting some wind in the rain. LaCount and Cheneyville and Bunkie are all in this severe thunderstorm warning box here. Again, as you can see, this storm is pushing to the east. I'm going to slow it down a little bit for you. That is pushing to the east. So we are going to be looking at heavy rain, possibly some hail, and some strong winds as well. Looking at winds on that one, 60 mile per hour wind gusts certainly possible as this heads towards eastern Rapides Parish and then eventually into western Avoyelles Parish as well. So good news if you're just joining it. Again, it was showing some signs of rotation. That storm has been the troublemaking storm all afternoon, producing a tornado warning through portions of Beauregard and Vernon, and we have seen this continue to be tornado warned. That has been allowed to expire. So this time we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 severe thunderstorm warnings across our area. Again, we do have tornado potential today, especially in these storms that push to the south. I wouldn't be surprised if that storm starts to organize itself again to see another tornado warning issued, but for now we don't have one, so that is good news. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning pushing into eastern Rapides, 2 of them actually, one to the north and one to the south. The one to the south will be eventually pushing into Avoyelles as well. And then we also have the severe thunderstorm warning here back across Sabine Parish. And then luckily, Grant is getting a break for now. You may have a little more activity here from that storm that's back in Sabine that may affect the northern portions. We have this other severe thunderstorm warning here on top of Georgetown that'll continue to affect portions of Alla and Gina with some quarter-sized hail and some 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And then our storm here in Rapides Parish, we're seeing really strong wind, strong heavy rain and gusty winds throughout all of the parish, but the strongest of this storm here heading into the Labousse area, and then Holloway and DeVille, you're also in the severe thunderstorm warning as well. And it looks like they're going to drop the warning on the southern one here. Okay, that's going to be as it pushes out of those areas. And we have another update. Going to check on this. So if you're just joining us here, we have been following a few tornado warnings today, really more or less the same cell off and on today primarily, but a few severe thunderstorm warnings certainly ongoing. And this storm here in southern Rapides, let's check on the details of these again. This one down here to the south has been our hail producer as well. So this is going to be, again, for ping pong ball-sized hail. That's 1.5-inch sized hail. So if you're in Avoyles, especially in the Bunkie area, LeCount, Shadyville, even into Marksville, potentially, or Moraville, because this storm is going to continue to push east. We may see it hold its strength together. It's been quite the hail producer here. We've had numerous hail reports here across the area. Check in on our hail zone and our hail tracks here. That storm that was pushing through Grant, again, has had a history of producing some hail. And then you see the different colors there going from Beauregard through Allen, and now near that Rapides Evangeline border. That was the tornado warned storm that we've been tracking, but that has also had a history of producing that large hail, especially as it was back in Beauregard Parish there. That hail there could be ping pong ball sized or even larger, possibly even around golf ball sized hail. And then a lot of our storms here, really most of our storms today have appear to have been producing hail. So this is just one of those days. Some of the storms here to the north are elevated. We tend to have more of a hail threat with those storms as well. A lot of these storms, though, are right along the warm front that is pushed into the area and to the south of the warm front as well. So we do continue to see a tornado watch until 7 o'clock for the entire area. And we have this upper level energy interacting with our warm front that has sparked these storms off. And with all those ingredients in place, things have been coming together pretty well right across our area today. So it doesn't look like we are seeing some development here back across East Texas. So it looks like Sabine and Natchitoches are likely to stay busy for a while. Not seeing a lot of development down to the southwest. So hopefully Beauregard and Vernon, we get a little bit of a break for a while. But again, at this time, we do have about five or six here severe thunderstorm warnings here across our area. So I'm going to take a quick break now that we don't have a tornado warning in place. Again, if you're out in the path of these storms, though, please continue to stay weather aware, and we are going to get back on here. If we have another tornado warning or another substantial hail or wind producing severe thunderstorm warning. But for now, we're going to take a break, take a look at things, and we'll be back on here as necessary.
From your local station, this is a severe weather update.
And good afternoon, Rachel Penton here again, and we do have another tornado warning to tell you about. This is for Avoyles Parish, and if you're in Cottonport or Moraville, you want to certainly keep an eye on this storm and stay in your safe place until the storm passes. This is the same storm we've been tracking with a history of producing large hail, and it also has a history of producing at least tornado warnings. We haven't quite heard yet if it's actually dropped a tornado today, but this certainly has the potential for that. We are seeing some areas of rotation here. So this is the same severe thunderstorm here that was producing some large hail near Cheneyville. We're likely seeing 2-inch hail in Avoyles Parish with this storm, and now we have the potential as well for a tornado. So that area of rotation is going to be right on top of Cottonport, but if you're in Mansura, I would use caution as well. The area of concern there, it's still fairly broad, so that's a good sign, but we do have some higher velocities coming in with this storm. And really that area of rotation, I would say, is between Mansura and Cottonport. And as the storm pushes to the east, Moraville here is going to be, it's moving to the northeast actually at 35 miles per hour. So Moraville is going to be in the path of this. So just looking at the last few minutes here, you can see that area of red and green co-located right next to each other. So it's a little bit messy, but certainly the storm has at times been trying to produce a tornado at the very least. And it's going to be right in this area here. So again, that's going to be near Highway 107 in Avoyles Parish between Mansura and Cottonport. And in addition to very large and dangerous hail, we're also looking at the potential for this storm to drop a tornado here towards the Cottonport area and heading towards Moraville. So if you live along Highway 29 near Longbridge, Highway 114 heading into Moraville, you're certainly going to want to stay in your safe place here until this storm passes near Highway 107 and in the Cottonport area as well. We're seeing some of those areas of rotation, and those are heading to the northeast, so they're heading towards Long Bridge and towards Moraville. But we could see southern portions of Mansura here along Highway 107 and 114 affected by this as well. The main area of circulation is just south of Mansura. So again, it's closer to Cottonport than anywhere else, and that is again heading towards Moorville. The hail with this storm, very large hail being produced. We're getting reports in of this large hail as well, and our hail product has showed this storm continuing to produce 2-inch hail. 2-inch hail is the size of an egg. That is really starting to get into some dangerous hail that can certainly do a lot of damage to property, and of course to you as well if you are outside. I'm going to see if we have any storm reports from the cell as well, but if you're just joining in, again, Cottonport and Moraville, you want to get in your safe place until the storm passes because we may be looking at a quick spin-up tornado possible here with this storm. Again, the rotation is a little bit broad, but it is there, and it is showing signs of at least a little bit more organization. And looks like we don't have any storm reports here just yet from Avoyelles or Rapides. We did have some hail reports back across Natchitoches and Beauregard as well. So at this time, we do have for our area 3 ongoing warnings. 2 of the warnings are for the same storm, but most of Avoyelles Parish here at this time being affected by this strong thunderstorm. This has been our main troublemaker of the day. And this has been producing large hail, damaging wind gusts, and could be producing a tornado. So it is moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So I'm going to time it out and see if I can get some more of these landmarks in here. But this is primarily going to be between Cottonport and Moraville as well. So I'm just going to actually time it out from where that hail core is, because you're not going to want to be outside when that approaches your area as well. And then if it did produce a tornado, you would get the hail first, followed by the tornado, if we have a tornado. So it'll be in the Big Bend area here in the next 9 minutes. Not seeing any places on our system come up that are very noticeable that anyone would know. But again, this is starting to push towards the Hamburg area as well. And this tornado warning box, the worst of it is past Hesmer now, and also south of Hesmer. But from Mansura to Moraville and Cottonport, that is where we have the worst of this storm. And looks like that area of rotation here is coming up on Moraville. And again, it's not an incredibly strong signature. This could be a quick spin-up tornado, though. Again, better to be safe than sorry with this situation. And this is going to go until 5:45. So it's currently 5:27. And as you can see, we have a severe thunderstorm warning on the same cell, which is already being continued into southwestern Mississippi there. The storm is moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So luckily, it will be exiting the parish here, and likely in about the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. But again, we do have this tornado warning here continuing, as well as a severe thunderstorm. So a little bit of everything with this storm. The tornado warning will go till 5:45. Let's see when the severe thunderstorm warning is going to go to. Severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 6 o'clock. And again, besides the possibility of a tornado, we are going to be looking at 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and anywhere from 1.5 inches to potentially 2-inch sized hail with this storm. So definitely going to be a loud storm as well. Looks like a lot of lightning with this storm. So that is another threat from it, as well as torrential rainfall and hail as well. So this storm has been we've been tracking this one all afternoon, all the way from East Texas through Beauregard Parish. It kind of clipped portions of Vernon, Southern Rapides, portions of Allen and Evangeline as well. And now the storm here pushing towards Moraville in Avoyles Parish, really right on top of Moraville. It may produce this quick spin-up tornado here. Again, we don't have any confirmation of this, but it would be a good plan to stay in your safe place here until this storm passes, and we'll let you know if this tornado warning is dropped. That's going to go on here for about another 15 minutes or so. Additionally, we have another severe thunderstorm warning here that is currently pushing out of Natchitoches, and that is going to be pushing into northern Grant Parish as well as southern Wynn Parish. That one is going to be, I believe, a standard warning here. Let's check it out. It's going to go until 6:15, and that is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. So again, that storm there currently in Natchitoches Parish, but that's going to be pushing into Grant and Wynn. We also have a strong thunderstorm back on Sabine Parish. That one will also be heading into Natchitoches. No warning there at the moment, and things have quieted down for Vernon and Beauregard as well. And currently Avoyles here getting the worst of the storms at the moment with our tornado warning. And let's check in on where this storm is located. And again, it does have that potential for severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to take that, well, it does have a severe thunderstorm warning, but we're concerned with that hail and that tornado threat at the moment. And that tornado warning will go for about 15 minutes. It's moving to the northeast now. It looks like it's picked up speed a bit at 50 miles per hour. So that is, well, that's good and bad. That means it'll exit the parish sooner. But of course, that would be bad if it is producing a tornado, because that would be a very fast moving storm. But again, well, let's check out the velocity data. And it is a broad signature. But it is there. Certainly could see this storm drop a tornado. Don't have confirmation of that at this time. That worst of that, the most concerning area of rotation is still in the Moraville area. It's really not affecting the Marksville area, and at this point, it has passed Mansura and also past Cottonport. It has also passed Plocheville as well. So it's really Moraville, and that's the only area that I'm seeing here at the moment. It's going to be near Moorville, Hamburg. It'll be headed towards the Big Bend area as well. So starting to get into those more rural areas as well. Not affecting Simmsport, and again, just giving you a look at that tornado warning here. It's pushing into western Avoyles as well, and it's this severe thunderstorm that we've been tracking across the entire southern portion of the state all afternoon, and that is pushing to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So I'm going to see if we can track this out here again, now that we do know it is picking up a bit of speed, and as it pushes to the northeast here at 50 miles per hour. So it shouldn't be affecting Avoyles here for too much longer. But let's just go ahead and track it out here. So right on top of Avoyles High School, again, it's right on top of Moorville at this time, which I've been saying, into Hamburg in the next 4 minutes or so, into the Big Bend area here in the next 15 minutes or so. And then after that, it is more or less going to be starting to head out of our area. And this storm has a history of producing strong winds and large hail as well, and it may be producing a tornado. Again, Borderlandville is going to be in that tornado warning box as well. And let's check that out and see if we can zoom in here and look at some of the roads that it's affecting right now. Again, Highway 114, it's pretty much just east of Highway 1 there. 451 is also going to be there as well. And really that area of rotation at this point is going to be pretty much between, it's going to be just east of Moraville here, kind of between Borderlandville and Moraville. It's a little bit of a messy signature. There's kind of a lot going on with this storm. But if you're in that general vicinity, certainly would want to just stay in place if you can until that storm passes. Again, showing our hail product here. That is continuing to show some large hail. It may not be quite as large as it was earlier, as it was on approach to Hesmer. So that's good. Looks like down here between Hamburg and Plocheville. We still have some areas of large hail that the storm is producing, about 1.5 inch size. So 1.5 inch size, still very large hail, ping pong ball sized hail. And as the storm continues pushing across the parish there, it certainly has that potential to keep producing that large hail. This storm has been the primary troublemaker today as it's pushed across our southern parishes here. It's been producing a tornado warning on and off as we've seen those areas of rotation tighten up at times, and that is just continuing to cause problems across the area with the hail, also a lightning threat as well, and of course, heavy rain and that potential for that tornado. So the signature on velocity is looking fairly messy. So that is a good sign. That means we're probably not getting a tornado touching down, but we'll just stay with it a few more minutes to see if this tornado warning here continues. And certainly a damaging storm regardless. Again, some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, certainly a possibility, as well as that large hail. And yeah, we are getting now a storm report in from a storm chaser down and around the Bunkie area. This was just a few minutes back, some telephone poles potentially snapped in and around Bunkie area. We'll have to work to confirm some of these storm reports, but it does look like there are some damage reports that are coming in from these storms. So again, we are continuing this tornado warning in the Mooresville area as well as the Bordelonville area. It's going to be past Plocheville, and Simmsport is not going to be in that warning box. Hesmer and Marksville are in the clear. And at this point, it looks like Mansura is in the clear as well. You're still in the box, but the worst of that storm here is past the area again. It's going to be primarily Mooresville and Bordelonville. Seeing this potential area of rotation here where we may have a tornado that's being produced. We don't have any definite confirmation of that at this time, but again, this is going to be primarily just north of Highway 1 in Avoyelles Parish, and it is moving pretty quickly to the northeast. So we are going to see it here push out of the parish pretty quickly, which of course is good news. That's what we want it to do. As far as Avoyelles is concerned, and Rapides, and most of our parishes at this point, things are starting to slow down for our area. There are, of course, a lot of storms here across the northern portion of the state, as well as additional severe thunderstorms pushing into Mississippi now. But we are down to 2 storms that we're watching. Again, the storm near Mooresville and Bordelonville producing possibly some very large hail, some damaging wind gusts, and possibly a tornado as well. And then we have our severe thunderstorm warning. This is another strong storm. It is now to the east of Montgomery. It's really coming up on Atlanta as well. And let's check out this one. This one has not been producing as large a hail. Yeah, it could be some small hail with that one. But that one's not as much of a hail producer as this one here is. So again, we talked about this earlier. This is a situation that really very quickly escalated with those ingredients really coming together. And as we saw on Friday, they don't always come together just right, even when they are in place. And that did not happen for us on Friday. But today, the storms have really come together. A tornado watch remains in effect here until 7 o'clock. And until these storms push out of our area here, we'll still have about 2 or 3 more hours where we still could see some damaging storms as well as some tornado potential as well. And looking at the shear tracks, which gives us an indication of those, some of those winds, we are seeing some shear tracks which it could be from a tornado or it could be from strong winds, but it is showing up on our product enough to show us that some strong winds have been through that area, and then the hail as well. Just what a terrible combination that is a tornado and wind-producing storm and extremely large hail, and we don't see that combination a whole lot around here, but that is what we have going on here across the area. I'm still keeping an eye on our radar signature here in Avoyelles. Again, certainly could be something there, but it doesn't look overly concerning. So hopefully the storm is going to continue that trend and fall apart here as it pushes out of the area. And I'm not seeing any new updates yet. We've got about 6 more minutes on the tornado warning, which the worst of that is really coming up on the Bordelonville area. After that, looks like it's going to be headed into those more rural areas and also pushing out of the parish. So that would be good news. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning on top of it. So I know you're getting multiple alerts in Avoyelles right now. I wish they wouldn't necessarily issue two at once, but that's just what happens. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Avoyelles Parish as well as a tornado warning. It is the same storm. Of course, if we saw a tornado, it would be in a more concentrated area, and there would be that area right there again. It's going to be north of Highway 1, and the signature is looking really messy. There is certainly some broad rotation still going on there, and it looks like they're going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning here, continuing to extend that east into Mississippi. So it's going to be crossing the river here in the not too distant future, but could be producing that large hail. A lot of lightning with this storm as well. The storm in Natchitoches and Grant Parish also producing a lot of lightning. There could be some small hail in that storm as well. And then we have additional strong storms back through Sabine Parish and Natchitoches Parish. A lot of lightning, some very heavy rain with those as well. So we are just continuing to track the tornado warned storm here in Avoyelles Parish. Again, this storm has really been the #1 troublemaker of the day. And we have at least one damage report. We've also gotten plenty of videos of hail coming in from across the area. So I'll be interested to see what additional storm reports roll into this. Hopefully the damage is not too extensive, but it does look like it is doing some damage here as this storm pushes across the area, and that's been happening since East Texas as it's tracked across the entire state here. So good news is it looks like Marksville, Mansura, Cottonport, Simmsport, all of those areas are in the clear. Hesmer in the clear as well. Even Moorville at this point, the worst of that storm is moving away from you now. I'd say it's north and east of you. Pretty much Bordelonville is still on the fringes of the area of concern, still in the warning box as well. So you want to stay in place here until the storm passes. And that will be happening here pretty soon. So we've had such a big hail threat today. Again, just to give you an idea of the hail that is falling with these storms, we often see quarter-sized hail, which is 1 inch. We started today seeing, right off the bat, seeing ping pong ball-sized hail, which is 1.5 inches. Golf ball is 1.75 inches, and then 2 inches, which is what we likely had through portions of Southern Rapides and Avoyelles. That is egg-sized hail, and we're just looking at a radar estimate here. So certainly maybe could be seeing even larger hail out there once we get some of these reports in. And so it does look like they are going to allow that tornado warning to expire here in the next 3 minutes. So that is good news. And they're going to continue that as a severe thunderstorm warning. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're in the clear. But again, the radar signature there as far as rotation goes wasn't overly strong. So it's good to see that tornado warning be allowed to expire. That severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue for a little bit longer. Again, most of Avoyelles Parish at this point is in the clear. And with that tornado warning here being dropped, we're going to go ahead and send you back to regular programming. We'll be back on the air, though, if we have any additional strong storms.